But one thing I noticed that it does not have any emotions
It
at
does
all. It
not. It
lacks.
does not.
It lacks.
It does not.
So
Now,
with
if I,
this, yeah,
yeah, just sorry to interrupt. I have mentioned in my previous, edu talks also, and I would also want to mention, I always tell my students कि बात जब दिल से निकलती है तो दिल तक पहुंचती है, जो जहन से निकलती है वो जहन तक रह जाती है. So when you talk from the heart, it actually reaches the heart. So obviously we are going to get emotions eliminated. Already there are so many clashes between families and friends and all nowadays. But once the AI enters, the emergence really comes up. These things, jo bacha kucha pyar or gussa and anger and the feelings, I think that also is going to get eliminated. In the rush of accuracy, we are going to lose emotions in relationships somewhere, I really feel. Yeah.
yeah. So Veena ma'am says that in the rush of accuracy, we are going to lose emotions at there. So Lakshman sir, so what do you think over it? So please carry on the session.
Yeah.
Right. So
Thank you.
good evening,
Evening, sir.
Anju ma'am, and good evening, Veena ma'am, and good evening, Lakshman sir, Sarit sir, and all the wonderful people who are listening. So I am because I am from a field of sales and marketing, and I keep on seeing that the uses of AI, because I am, apart from this, I am attached with many institutes and the institute where the people, they are learning about the AI part. In fact, today I am here in Calcutta, right? And the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade has invited me to give a talk on the technology disruptions and the uses on that, right? So I had more than 350 students of MBA and including the professors. So I was talking about it, that how AI is taking care, right? So AI has become a part and parcel of our life, right? So we have to segmentize ourselves where the use of the AI is there and where the use of AI is not there, right? In the home, when we talk to our blood relations, there is no use of AI. But when we come to the workplace, AI is always required. Because if you read the data, that by 2025, 90 million jobs will be taken over, but at the same time, 132 million jobs will be given AI. Because artificial intelligence, we start, because suppose I have to come to Pune to meet Veena Harwani ma'am or to some other person, suppose at your place. So what I will do, I will not ask with the tempo person, this person, that person, just put the thing on the Google and just reach there. Maybe sometime it will take time, but we are confident that yes, Google is going to ensure it. So this is one example. The second example is when we are typing, I'm not good in English, suppose, right? So with this AI, automatically it is going to take care that my grammar will be, there will be no grammatical mistake will be there. This is the second example is there. Third example, when we talk about data analytics, which is very, very important, right? I'm talking of the youngsters, right, which are on their after the graduation or during the graduation and above. They require all these things and data analysis, because today data is a new oil, right? We all know about it, right? And technology is the god, right? So if the blend of AI and this technology, which is going to help a lot, because it is going to make our work very easy. Again, I am saying that we should not talk the AI part with the blood relations, right? We should not talk this thing with the children which are there, because we have to build the children which are on the third standard, fourth and fifth standard. But from eighth standard onwards, they have to tune about it, right? Because now in the schools and the colleges, they are also talking about uses of AR, VR, augmented reality and virtuality while teaching the science, right? And when they talk about the biology part and all from 11th standard and onward, they talk about that how the human bodies, how the veins, arteries are working. And this is a part of artificial intelligence. So it is making the job more clear. So if we start mixing both the things together, I think we'll be getting little confused. With due respect to all the speakers here, I fully agree. AI, I'm able to see that AI is going to help a lot. And at the same time, in the coming time, you have to adopt it. Either it is by hook or by the crook, frankly speaking. When the demonetization has happened, people they have made lot of galata and all, but now everybody has adopted. When the Aadhaar card has come, people were talking something this, that and all, and everything is getting linked with the Aadhaar card. So you talk about the new thing which is coming up. Now this government scheme has come, adapt, which is there. When everybody will be a part of that, where now today what is happening? Give example. People they go to the AIMS and there is 3 months period is there. When if you have the jack, you will get immediately appointment in the AIMS Delhi.
Mhm.
But with this new technology, you have to fill the form and your date will be coming. Nobody can manipulate the things. So there is a zero error of the manipulation. If you write A, it will come A. If you write B, it will come B. So all these things are going to happen, and it depends upon that where to put it, what not to put it. Today, AI is also able to give us that there should not be any fraud. See, when the spam call is coming to us, right, immediately we are understanding that the fraud call is there. Earlier, it was not happening. The trapping is not taking care. So it has been used. Now I'm coming to the AI part, especially in the armed forces. They're using it because they know that an armed forces AI is going to help us, because they will say that if suppose a missile is to be fired there, and how much time it will take, what spot the missile is going to be there. So it is going to take care for that security part also. So there are multiple arenas are there where we can take care for that, but at the same time respecting the human blood relationship, human respect, emotional intelligence also has to be respected. So machine has to do the work with the machine. And who is creating the machine? It's a human who create the machine, right? So we have to ensure that we should be taking care for our near and dear ones with love, affection, humility, and compassion, and at the same time adopting the new thing, which is very important. Today, suppose I have to book a hotel, right? And I'm sitting today in Calcutta, I have to go to Bangalore. What I will do? I'll just open the thing, find out which is the economical place are there and all. I don't need to worry about it, right? And this has been there. So there are enormous advantage. And coming to the thing, Veena ma'am, let me tell you, now in every institute, in every places, because you are an educator, ma'am, right? And in everywhere, people, they are insisting to read the computer language. They are insisting
Yes.
to be the tech savvy. Today, see, in during our time, when we used to go to abroad, I'm talking about 2000, right, at the time of 2000, when we used to see the children of the foreigners, they were using the small laptop or something like that. We say, oh my God, what
Yes.
they are doing it, right? And
Yes.
today the situation is that even our children's, and because there
Yeah.
was lockdown was there at the age of 3 years, 4 years,
Yes.
5 years, we themselves ourselves has given them. Today the child knows better things, so many things as
Yes.
compared to us. So this is again a technology. Yes, of course, the letharginess has come. We understand about it, but it depends upon us that how the letharginess can be converted towards the activeness. Because
Yeah.
AI and activeness is very important. You have to be mentally strong,
Hmm.
right? And to build with the AI, to work with the AI technology, you have to open your mind arena much bigger as compared to the other people, right? So advantage and disadvantage there, but I feel
Are
that
always there.
advantage are many, many, many.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
depends upon how you take it up and how you leave it up,
And there
right?
is no escape. And there is no escape. We
There is
have
no
to use
escape.
it.
Yeah,
We
you
have
have
to.
to accept
We
it.
are already. Yeah. Yeah.
So
We are
it is
already
better to
using
accept
also
it, and
every day.
it is better to embrace it, right? It
Yes.
is better to embrace it, right? And
Yes.
embrace it in a very, very respectful way, so that we should start learning the thing and we should start
Absolutely.
educating the coming generation. Today, ma'am, when you go to abroad, right? I'm talking about anything. Everything is depend on that. Your face recognition. When you go to Dubai,
Yes.
they see the people,
Yes.
right? Inside the people. They cannot change
Eyes.
that part,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
In the
Eyes
pupil
people,
of the eye. Yes.
right?
Yes.
I. So what is this? This is
Hmm.
AI, na? Right?
AI again.
Otherwise,
Yes.
lot many things are happening there. So it is
Absolutely.
enormous advantages there, enormous.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And even, sir, I would agree. Yes, obviously, these are the advantages. Also, in so there are other advantages such as you go for crude oil inside. When humans go into the mining and all, they lose their lives and all. So now, if AI is applied, and when we have the bots going inside, so obviously they are not going to get destroyed. Their hands are not, their bones are not going to break and all. So obviously, yes, there are lots and lots of advantages. What I was basically talking about is that is maybe as a mother I feel that fear of emotions would just eliminate from the world. So just from that obviously we cannot live without AI. Now we are so much dependent. Even we have our mobile phones, even for time, for, as you said, for Google Maps, as we say, go Google, or let's say Siri, or all I mean all things are actually AI. Even now, there was also a research when Facebook had opted for this, bot chat. And what happened was they started the bot chat, were chatting with each other just for this thing. So what happened? Two bots actually chatting with each other. Actually, what happened? It started creating its own language. So now from Facebook, that has also been eliminated, because if they create a new language, nobody else would understand, right? Although humans have created, but humans could not understand. So there are so many places where it can create threats also, like to the cyber. But at the same time, yes, obviously it has made life quite easy. As you said, when we go to Dubai, they have this pupil check, inside the cameras. Yes, I have faced that many times because I keep going, my houses there. But yes, yes, although it has been very, very helpful,
So
and
I add on that, ma'am. When I was talking to Randy Zuckerberg, who is the sister of Mark Zuckerberg, right? I had a discussion with her. I am talking about 1.5 years back, right?
Okay.
And when we're talking about the Meta part, the users in the healthcare industry, so the
Yes.
amount of work, and then recently in the month of September, I had a conversation with Philip Kotler, who is supposed to be the father of the marketing in the entire world. Right, and
Right.
any person who reads the MBA book without Philip Kotler, they cannot. So they're talking about that how digitalization is going to make a difference. Today, if you talk about the drug discovery, right? Earlier, there used to be a 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of time to ensure the drug discovery. Now the incarnation period, the thing has been getting changed. Today, we talk about the cancer is the dreaded disease, but there are some of the cancer which has been changed. If still you are in the second and the third stage of the cancer, the genomes and the genetics as well as the nanotechnology, which has completely changed the things. And how did it happen? That how this start working on this and how the AI has helped to make the things happen. Believe you me, 2040, by 2040, when we will be entering in the 100th year or 2047, this onco or this cancer will not be a dreaded disease. It will be a chronic disease. That's what the people they are working. So new incarnation is happening now. See, surrogacy was not at all there. I'm talking about 20 years back.
Yes.
People, they talk
Yes.
about the surrogacy. Now today, surrogacy has become a real requirement, right? Okay, the people, they
Absolutely.
come. And how? Because when the doctor put the semen inside the thing and all, so they understand the thing, how the child will be there, which right person, which right mother will be the right person for the thing. So this is
Right.
all a part of AI, right?
AI itself,
Yeah.
yes.
So
And
this is,
even the early detection of many diseases, it's all because
yes,
of AI. Yes, yes,
correct.
yes. Yes,
So
yes. It is
Yes, sir.
definitely, sir.
Yes,
We
as
cannot
per a ma'am. Yeah, as you two people are speaking, yes, there are a lot of benefits of AI, but AI is somewhere my research topic, where I used AI and IoT. So I know one very important thing, that the AI is able to improve the QoS parameters of IoT, but somewhere AI alone cannot stop cyber crimes and hacking process. And to avoid this hacking process, I had to use a third software in my PhD. So here a very important question arises: when you are talking so much of AI, shouldn't we consider this factor? Because there is one more thing in AI, that it runs how you program, how we are programming it. Yes, I know, because I have written actually a chapter on this, where the number of security issues has been mentioned, and it has been published by IGF Global. So there are a number of kind of attacks. So can we carry the discussion forward? Lakshman sir is waiting for his turn, and again, after that we will have more of discussion. Yes, Lakshman sir, please.
Yeah. Thank you. There is a noise coming in. Can somebody help me
some
mute?
noise is coming up. Yeah, yeah.
So we can mute ourselves.
Anjum ma'am, I think the noise is, yeah, now it is okay,
Yes.
Anjum ma'am.
Okay, so thank you. So I'll drop on my experience of having developed many applications and products in AI, in me and my team. And in fact, some of the products are currently working in global automotive models. So the first part is AI dangerous? As on today, in my view, it's not there, because this debate of dangerous always comes up whenever there's a new technology launched. 100 years back, when automotive or a car was being launched, there were a lot of questions: is going to be dangerous, going to create a lot of issues. Then we mentioned about the job loss. When computerization was starting 35 years back, they were saying we will lose all the jobs, but computerization has created more jobs. In fact, as per the study by US department, the only job which we have lost as due to computerization is a liftman job. So other than that, no job has been lost in. So from that perspective, AI is not there. But there is always a question AI is there, and it is more fueled by these movies which we see now. Somebody robot is going to take over and all those things. But the reality is the way today where we are standing in terms of a technology of AI, the AI which we use is weak AI. So our AI is divided into weak and strong AI. And weak AI is actually not AI in the real sense. If you ask for the theoretical practitioner, it's not weak. It's just glorified pattern matching. So you're just doing glorified pattern matching. As of now, there's no artificial intelligence, typical artificial intelligence available anywhere in the world. And artificial intelligence keeps going through the cycle of what you call as AI winter. So we are already into AI winter cycle. So even with the best probable solution, something as remotely intelligence is likely to take 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, we don't even know. Nobody can predict it. So in that context, AI taking over, AI being dangerous is not there. But there are clear and present dangers. And that these dangers are not in terms of AI being dangerous in the per se, but they are moral and ethical issues which we are already seeing. So if you look this, the voice assistants are there always. Siri is one of the voice assistants. Now we already see most of the voice assistants are female. Now already there's a bias being created. Then there was a job search option created by one of the global MNC. And after few months, they had to withdraw that because the biases, because ultimately when you create an AI, there is some human who is doing the programming. So the biases of human mind in recruitment were being installed in that particular program. And the classic example, so I've worked in driverless car, autonomous car for a long time, and most of my learning has been coming from there. So in 2018 in Arizona, one lady who was driving a cycle, so Uber was driving its driverless car, which is running on AI. Is the ultimate application as on today of AI is a driverless car. So this lady got killed. Now the question, how we look at it from a point of view of ethics is, if there's a driverless car, there's no driver. So if somebody is hit, who is responsible? Driver has no control. Is the company who is manufacturing responsible? Is the programmer responsible? So these are the few questions which are always going to be there from a point of view. And that is where the danger lies. And ethics and all are there. And the second aspect is already the AI application, the so-called AI application, which we say, which process your loan, which process you for many other things. And like somebody mentioned about in airport, if you are profiled, so you see who is dangerous, who is likely to be dangerous. Now, all those things where AI is there, the person who is sitting behind would have certain biases. So you may look at a person who is looking like this, somebody who is not dressed well, shabbily dressed, probably he is the or she is the suspect. So those biases are existing in the society, but those are individual biases. The moment you bring it into AI, it becomes universally accepted standard because all cameras would be having same biases and the number of people with it. So that is what is dangerous. So in my view, what we need to fight from the AI perspective is not that technology is going to take over, but the social, moral, and ethical biases which are going to be there, which are going to create a real breakdown of certain social fabric which we are used to till now. So that is all at this point of time. So over to you, Kurashi ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's very interesting to know that you're already working in the AI field and you have taken us through many of the others and you are in this session with us. Let's say when we talk about AI, so if we see like every day when we surf the net, especially if we go for some online shopping and we search for a particular item, so the same kind of things will start displaying on the screen. Like for example, I search for some shoes. So there will be more ads which shows shoes from different kind of shopping sites. So it is somewhere, don't you feel our privacy is at risk? Our browsing history is being recorded everywhere.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree, but you need to understand that this is not an AI. It is just somebody is tracking and keeping records. So it typically what you do is if you are logged into, let's say, Google, and you are searching through Google only, those gets linked in that point of time. And there are ways to not to fall for that trap. No, you can be logging from another browser, another aspect of that pathway. But as we have spoken, AI is not dangerous in that sense that if you look at the topic of today, it is giving you certain input, and you can always disable those aspects. So if you are in a browser, you don't enable cookies, you don't log in all the time. So those things can be avoided if you do not want it. But many people find it very useful. So if you are in an Amazon or any other thing, and if you have done some browsing, next time it automatically comes up. So maybe that is where it is aiding you in that sense. But that is actually not a real AI issue in that sense. It is that your some things are being given to you in a pattern which you would do it. Now, typically, if you say go to your earlier experience when you go to a shop and the shopkeeper is known to you, the moment you come, the person knows that this is the kind of interest you have, and those they will start showing you things which you like it. So it is a digitized version where you are coming from that point of view. But it is not dangerous, as I see, until you are really careless in handling those aspects.
Yes, sir. It is a fact. But what we were speaking about, like that many people are not aware of this, and especially we all mostly use the Android phones. Many people. But in this Android version, we are using the same Gmail ID, and with the same Gmail ID, we are using the all apps. We're using all the apps with the same. So, and in that we again have this OK Google Maps, everything, which is our AI-based application. So, what do you think of it? How can you make people so aware of logging from different browsers and using different email IDs?
So I would say it is not an issue of AI. I would compare it with the experience which you have traveling in local trains and public transport. If I have my wallet and I openly keep it in my behind my pocket and all those keep it displayed, I'm vulnerable in any case. So if you don't follow basic security protections, whatever is required, those are vulnerabilities which you are likely. So if you do online banking, if you do on thing, if you share your password, so those instructions are there. If you don't follow, I mean, it is not AI's fault that your password can be hacked or all those aspects are there. So per se, you have to be careful based on whatever technology. If I drive a car, I should know how to control, how to brake, how to do this. No, that's how it should work. If not, then I find somebody to drive me across. So I would say that we have to take precautions, but let us not mix this part with an AI where human need to follow we need to follow certain protection in terms of what we should do and what we should not do. So information is available. But AI, coming to the AI part, which I feel it is as of now, it is assistive, it is helpful, it is useful in medical field, in many other fields. Now we have cars which run on an automatic chauffeur, which is there on highways. You can drive safely, you can get a warning, you can do a lot of other things. So probably we have not reached a stage where we can say that is dangerous.
Yeah, so Veena ma'am, can you add something to this?
Yes, I was just about to say, Anjumji, basically what I understood of what you said is maybe someone is monitoring your likes and dislikes, because the moment you switch to a song, suppose you're listening to a favorite song on YouTube, and next time when you just log into your YouTube, channel or, to the YouTube application, you'll probably find various versions of that particular song, or probably if you're searching for a particular topic, next time when you log into the application, you're going to find such similar topics. So as if probably, as Lakshman sir is saying, it's not the part of AI, but somewhere I feel there is some technology that is actually monitoring our likes and dislikes. Even if you're going to Google and if you've searched in YouTube last time, it probably has a similar results there also, even if you're not searching anything. I have personally basically observed that. Yeah. Could you unmute yourself, Anjum? Yeah.
So there is one more question. Like AI is a kind, we put a program, we program it, and it will work as it is. But if you want some changes, that again needs program. So don't you think it is sometimes difficult? Because if we are doing a particular task, so if we want to change it, if we want to change our decisions, if we want to change the work we do, it is very easy. But in AI, is it possible? Is it easy to make changes in the program?
So I'll take that question if that is okay. So as we say, the biggest challenge in AI is that it is some geek who is writing a program. No? So typically you don't know what it works. In fact, one of the biggest risks which we've seen in history that they created a program on a computer for playing chess. Okay. And afterwards and translation of language. And afterward, they realized that computer has created, both the computers and both the bots, whatever we call them, they have created the language of on their own, which the programmer couldn't identify. So that those are the present risk which is being seen, and that is what they call, there's a term called explainable AI. So explainable AI, what they say is that instead of leaving it to the top programmers or the best programmers only to code something, the AI should be as per the explainability, so that it is transparently available that what exactly you are coding this. In fact, European Commission for AI, they have given a guideline. There are 7 steps which they have mentioned. So 4 of them are technical, but 3 of them which they have mentioned in terms of what should be done in terms of explainable AI is that you need to have a human agency and oversight. You need to have diversity, non-discrimination, and fairness, and societal and environmental well-being. So these are the aspects whenever multinationals are developing an AI application, these should be considered as a good practice. So the question which you ask, can you change it? Yes, this is how it should be designed. Unfortunate part is many companies, because they want to have the proprietary on all those aspects, they don't keep it like that. But slowly this implementation is being pushed by the various commissions, and the aim is that whatever is coded, it should be explainable AI, not a typical AI.
Yes, so that is actually more important, because though we are talking about AI, we are actually using all the applications that have been developed, but without knowing how it is being developed and how the coding is being done. Well, the coding, there are nowadays more children have started with the coding, and hope till they grow up there will be more developments in the AI. Ma'am, Veena ma'am, as an educator, what do you think? How AI is going to affect the education?
Anju
Yes,
ma'am,
sir.
with your
Yes,
due
sir.
respect, when you
Yeah.
talk about
Yes.
the uses of the coding, I think Lakshman sir will agree with me. The students which are learning now, right? They are learning in terms of their use. See, when we are talking, we have not learned that thing, and we are working as per our experience,
Yeah, we are
right?
working on that.
Right, as per our experience and whatever our children have told us, this is the way then. But why I'm saying so, when I go and meet the student of different engineering college and we talk about the things, so they keep on talking that this is the way that has been programmed and this is the way it has been told. So they are aware about it, and they are very clear, they are very sharp that what to be used, what not to be used, and what to be misused as well.
Yes,
So
sir,
they
that
are
is very clear. That's
they are
very
they are
clear to
very
them.
clear. So I'm talking about the use, not to be used, and what to be misused also. And they told, because when we talk with a very friendly talk, they said this is the way that it is there. So that's what I was listening very carefully of Lakshman sir. He said typical AI. He said about the word typical AI has not been used. So I was thinking that I must ask, request him that what the typical AI means, right? Because this is the new thing which has come to my mind. So can I request Lakshman sir to elaborate so that it will help us to understand.
Okay, so I mean, just to give you a phrase which is used in the industry is, as we said that artificial intelligence, when we use the word artificial, this actually is associated with what we call as a strong AI. And as on today, there's no system which is using strong AI. So strong AI is real intelligence. Let's say I ask Siri a question, how are you? And Siri answers, I am fine, I'm good. Is this an AI? No. But what Siri is doing is, the moment you say, how are you? Siri has some list of questions. So, and they will just, so it is a pattern matching. So you're just trying to match A to B. It is same way if you go to, if you were to ask me, okay, I'm having cold, I'm having this, and you have a list given by some doctor, and you are just saying, okay, these things, that means you are having this disease. No, that this is a pattern matching. Whereas when real intelligence is that when you say, and I think Veena ma'am also mentioned about the emotions, the feelings. So when you say, how are you? If you ask me or I ask you, we connect with the actual feeling, and that is how we respond. So that is where the artificial intelligence, as we call it. So artificial is okay, but intelligence is at that aspect of it. So as of now, no application exists which is in that sense intelligence in artificial. Most of it is, as you called, is advanced pattern matching. When I use Google Map, when I use anything, it will match multiple things. And the only thing which has happened over a period of last 30 years, these technologies existed 30, 40 years back also. What has happened
Absolutely.
is our hardware software has improved so much that the processing is very fast. So earlier it used to be very difficult. You needed a supercomputer to run the whole thing. Now a small handheld mobile can process a lot of things. So in that sense, we are not a typical AI scenario as on today. When it comes, then we can look at it, but that also looks to be quite far as is today.
So,
So I
sir,
think,
adding to this point, it is like you will agree what I have learned from the people like you and other people. AI means today it is like a human intelligence which has been adopted and put in the machine. So if I ask Lakshman sir, how are you? So you will reply, yesterday I was not well, but today I'm feeling well. You will never reply this way, right? You say, no, 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 I'm perfectly well. All right. So when 100 times the same reply will be there, it will be captured because we don't reply with the emotions, correct? We don't reply with the emotions. And then personally, I feel that it is like a direct reply which is coming up, and immediately the AI is capturing the same thing. When we start putting something in writing also, like and the grammatical thing and all, it will capture the same English language of the dictionary. It will not capture the other thing which is there. Right. So if you write synchronize, so we have learned synchronize is as CHRNISE, but when you go to the dictionary, it will say no, it is wrong. It has to be instead of S, it will become Z because it has been used multiple times. So that S has been changed into the Z. So coming to the Veena ma'am part, which you said that children's right and emotion part. So madam, I like to add one thing here. The emotions are the reflection of the parents or the home. Correct? You'll agree with me
Yes,
because
yes.
whatever see if because you
But
all are
not
in
at the work
education.
field. But not at the work field. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So see, as an educator, you know, a child is very cranky. It means it is home. The child has been irritated in such a way the child behave in that way. A child is a Thanksgiving child. So it means in his home, his parents, whenever something happens, they say thank you. So the child understand. If the child is coming from a very small family, but there is a happiness there in the
Yes.
family, so the child
Non-verbal.
will always feel very happy. If the child
Absolutely.
comes from a very, very big family with a golden spoon in his mouth, but entire keep on saying the parents keep on fighting, the child become the most irritating person like that. So there,
Absolutely.
the role of the emotional intelligence has been played. The first teacher is the
Yes.
home.
Mum.
Right. And today,
Yes.
whatever we have learned, because we have learned, that's why we say, na, value
Yes.
system. This is
Yes.
the value system, which is giving us the total thing.
Absolutely.
And I would like to add one more thing when we talk about our like experiences, right, and observation. So when we become more aged and then we have the experience and observation, then that wisdom start coming up, and then we say that what is correct or which is not correct.
Mm.
But here I always say it is not the responsibility of the teacher, and for emotions it is the responsibility of the parents. And
Absolutely.
and
That's the
and and
first home.
that
Yes.
is the first. And
Absolutely.
if it is very, very important, whatever the mother and father, they are working in any condition,
Yes.
good, bad, or ugly condition, they should not be saying putting the thing in front of the child. Even if they want to fight it, they should go in some other room somewhere out and they should fight and solve the issue, not in
Thought
front of
out.
the child. Another thing, ma'am, I
Very
like to
true.
highlight why the
Very
females, they
true,
are not
sir.
getting married nowadays, right? Why they say, no, no, I don't want to go for that. Because they have seen that trauma. So that emotional part is hit in their brain and mind. They know one thing is going to happen and all. So
I
that
so
part,
agree. I so agree with you, sir, because they always feel that the ways, the women have been, mentally tortured or emotionally or, however. So, yeah, yeah. I've heard from many of the females. They are like, I don't want to go through this mental torture. I'm happy the way Yes, I agree. So, the ambience matters a lot. It really dominates one's personality and mentality, basically. The ambience of the home I'm talking about, that really dominates one's personality, as well as not only the children, also the rest of the members in the family, even the adults, even the old aged people, it really impacts their lifestyle. And yes, eventually then the output is like, obviously now, if we talk about AI in that case, they do not have such ambience and all. They are going to work nicely. हम तो थोड़ा सा stress हो गया office में आज, We are not going to work
that
properly.
has become an AI for them, because they
Yeah.
know that for every thing they will have the negative part, because that part has been imbibed in their mind, right?
Absolutely.
So that has
Yes, yes.
become that has become AI for them. So, and when the person comes with the like that, let us do it. The person always have a go-getter. That is again a
Right.
part of the AI. It has been
Again,
imbibed in
yes,
that.
yes,
That yes,
yes.
I will do it. I will not accept the failure. I'll always accept the challenge. So this is
Yes,
all
yes.
this thing which is
Absolutely,
machine has
sir.
taken, and we are
Absolutely.
putting it
Yes,
like that.
yes. Sir, like when we do our personality grooming sessions, we always say train your mind and train your life. So you need to, like, you are training, in the botic language, in the coding language, you're training the bot. In this way, you need to train your own mind. So train your mind, so you train your life and get the hold of your life. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Veena, ma'am, like you were saying about train your mind, and and even I would like to even relate to what Ratu sir has said about our family values, about our thinkings. You were also I have more to add to it. I will discuss it, but our one of our speakers, Dr. Urvashi Shetty, has joined us. So let us hear what she has to say about the topic, and then we will discuss on this. This is very interesting thing. This is actually coming because somewhere, as I told you, I am again from this AI field, and I have done programming and all. So I have something to add to it. So first, let us
I
hear
want
what
to
Urvashi has
compliment
to say.
Dr. Ushavati. Can I compliment her? So this is the AI part which has
Ushavati, I
been
think.
imbibed in our mind. You see in the morning at 7 o'clock, she'll be like this. You see her in the at 11 o'clock in the night, she will like this. So we know that when Dr. Ushavati will come, she will be so beautifully dressed, and so you look so fresh. So that is again an AI part has been imbibed. Over to you,
Yeah.
Dr. Ushavati.
Yes, please, ma'am.
Good one. Good
Introduction, ma'am,
one.
please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. I take that as a compliment. And yes, I have just reached back home from work. I had sent a message to Ravi sir saying that, I'm traveling, so I'll not be logging. And I'm so sorry I couldn't hear your session. I'll definitely be logging on to the Facebook and listening to your session, sir. But whatever you spoke towards the last part, I completely agree with that. When we talk about artificial intelligence, I, being an educator, I would like to focus more on the education aspect of it. Yes, everything has its own pros and everything has its cons as well. But when we talk about the artificial intelligence in the education sector, there are a lot of benefits. Yes, I completely agree that artificial intelligence machine has taken over a lot of things that people used to do. Manual work has, wherein repetitive work was going on there, machines have taken over. But where is the emotional part of it? If you are talking about the smart boards that we are using in the classrooms, yes, we are teaching the students using that. We are trying to make the concepts clear, but no, that is not the way the teaching has to be taking place in the classrooms. We just cannot depend completely on the artificial intelligence. When we talk about the teaching part of it, as sir also rightly mentioned, emotional aspect really plays a very, very important role. Teacher's role, the way the teacher teaches in the class, the eye contact, the body language, the personality of the teacher, the everything for a child, teacher is a kind of a role model. They look up to them. I have noticed, in my school, the younger primary section and all, when teacher is giving some kind of instructions to the students, and children go back home and share that with them. This we have noticed in the parent teachers meeting as well, that however educated the parents are back home, teacher's word is the word, whatever it may be. Whatever teacher is told in the class, the child takes it so seriously. Even if it is even if it is something, minor changes here and there, the child will not accept anything that the parent is saying. For the child, whatever the teacher says is the word. And at such point of time, during the growing years, as they are, we say it is like a wet clay. Students are like a wet clay, and they are the ones who we are molding. At that point of time, yes, we will definitely be needing the artificial intelligence there. We will be using the technology there, but at the same time, human touch is required. So I will not say I am against artificial intelligence. I will not say I am for artificial intelligence. It is, I'll not say, there is a biased feeling towards it. We definitely need artificial intelligence. Now, very simple, like, for example, if you're surfing on Facebook, and there are certain likes and interests that we have, And why is it that the next time that you log in, similar kinds of videos are coming? The ones which you are watching, something similar, something that interests you, that is artificial intelligence. That is where it is working. Apple has got Siri, Alexa is there. So the kind of instructions that people used to take a lot of time to understand, it is happening in minutes. But I think somewhere I have also read, Musk also had mentioned that 2040, around 2040, artificial intelligence is going to take over our humans so badly that there are certain kind of drawbacks also which we are not seeing as of now. Earlier, when people used to say, we did not have phones back home, we did not have phone. We used to have one landline, probably one in a building, and we used to communicate in that way. And there was a time when people said every single person will be having a mobile in their hand. We did not believe at that point of time. And then later on, 5G came. And when 5G came, everything changed. And the pandemic hit, and pandemic completely changed. It was a transformational phase. I remember earlier there were jokes saying that, when the students used to bring mobile to the school, we used to confiscate them. But then later on, what happened? Classrooms went into the mobile itself. What is it? Everything is artificial intelligence. So, yes, but somewhere I feel towards 2030, more of emotional, more of mental, more of physical. This should be the seen in the future curriculum. More important should be given on the mental health of the students. One thing I noticed is that during the lockdown, people were not allowed to go out. People were locked inside the homes. They were having a work from home scenario. But I felt somewhere the interaction between the family members also was not much. Why? We used to have a lot of help around. We used to have maids around. But lockdown changed that. Lockdown did not allow the maids entering into the house. So workload increased. At the same time, the workplace came home. We were working from home. So each one was locked up in one room. Probably the child is attending online class, the father is working, mother is working. So even though they all were together, probably that family time was not there. Family time was which the people should have actually cherished. And as sir rightly said, these days, the women are talking about freedom. Women are talking about earlier there used to be early marriages, and now they are denying it. Everybody has become independent. Everybody has lost the tolerance somewhere. Everybody is not willing to be accommodative or adjustive to the other person. So where does it boil down to? Everything comes to emotional intelligence, social adjustment. Yes, machines can't help us there. Machines are required. Artificial intelligence is the need of the hour. But at the same time, somewhere we need to have a balance. That balance, I think we are losing somewhere in every aspect you see, even business sectors, even the office sector, even the school scenario, family scenario. So somewhere I feel that, that emotional connect, the social touch, the mental well-being, the physical well-being. People are getting obese. People are not moving out of their homes. Even the children are glued to the mobile. And these days I see young moms, they do not even take the effort of sitting with the child and telling them a story or feeding them. No, they just give them a mobile. They just switch on the TV, and that is how the child is eating. That is not the way it should be. Earlier I remember when the child used to be, not very cooperative while eating food. Okay, take this one bite. This is from father. This is from your mom. This is from your, the aunt. So there the mother is teaching relation also to the child. Okay, mother's sister is Masi. Daddy's sister is Bua. Now everybody's aunt, everybody's uncle. So somewhere earlier, probably moms had that kind of a time to spend with their children. They did not have maids earlier. The number of siblings were more at that point of time, but still somehow they managed to have time. But now these days, what is happening? A 2-year-old child can scroll and search for the related videos. They go onto YouTube. They very easily access the computer. They easily access the mobile, and parents are in awe. Oh my God, my child is able to do that. No, that is not the right way. That is not the right way at all. We are not supposed to be exposing our children to the digital world at such a young age. So somewhere I feel artificial intelligence has encroached upon our personal life more than it has encroached the professional life. So I will be supportive of artificial intelligence. At the same time, I feel being the person that I am, a very emotional person. I feel that emotional connect, mental well-being, social connect is very, very important. That machines can't replace. Definitely not. Over to you, ma'am.
And actually, before you joined, I just started with I should be asking a question to Veena ma'am. And actually, I got all the answers from you. This was
Yes.
actually your question.
I
which
was also
Okay.
going to add, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I also
Yeah.
wanted to add that, yes, I absolutely, I so agree with her because, basically, as I earlier also mentioned, somewhere we are going to lose on our, emotional things and all, the attachment, the bonding, basically, as a trainer with the students, the bonding that I have created, you wouldn't imagine. I have the students, who I have taught probably 7, 8 years back, and then they call up and they still tell me about their good news, they got the new jobs or they've done this achievement or this achievement. So that bonding, it's you because of AI's domination, I think all these beautiful moments, probably later on the humans might just lose on that. So yes, I really feel the
And
dominance is
also,
good.
ma'am, you will notice that the students who are slightly older, probably 10 years back, and the students now, there is a huge difference that you can see. 10 years
Absolutely, a
back,
lot,
students, the
a
way they
lot.
meet you, the way they treat you, the way, the
Yes,
kind of respect they have, and
yes,
the current generation, there is a huge difference, ma'am. That I have noticed.
absolutely,
The recent pass
absolutely.
out batches don't even bother to come back to you. And
Yes.
the earlier ones, they are so grounded, so down to earth. Wherever you meet them, be it a market, be it the airport, wherever they
They
do
put it
come
on
back to you.
status. They put
Yes,
it
they
on
do that.
status.
They do that.
Yes.
They do
I
that.
met
They
my
do that.
ma'am today and it was such a beautiful
Yes,
moment and things as such. Yes, yes, they do. They do
yes,
that.
they do.
Yes, they
So,
do.
ma'am, I will just add few things here. I mean, this is a discussion which we are looking at. It may be a little different than what AI is there. So let's
Hmm.
go back in history. No, little not in history. In the time most of us would have seen. Now, there was time when a child, if he is studying anything other than the textbook, if
Hmm.
he's reading a comic and all, we would say no, he's spoiled, he's gone crazy, and whatever is there. Okay, then came a time when this child is studying. Then came TVs. TV was introduced, and then we said, okay, TV is there. Then we were very happy that if the child is studying at least a comic book, correct? Then
Hmm.
TV came, and then we said, no, TV is spoiled. It has created relationship, and now that is gone. Then came this mobile generation. Initially, Urvashi ma'am also mentioned that there was nothing available, only landline phone was there, and that time we said mobile. When the mobile started, people said we are going to be hunchback, we are going to be this. Now we are 20 years down the line. So this issue of attention moving from a device to a gadget to V is
Hmm.
it is a part of the technology progress, or it's part of our mindset today. If my child, he goes and going out for playing in a field, we feel so happy about it, correct? If somebody is
Absolutely.
reading a storybook, we feel so proud. I tell that my child is reading storybook, not a gadget. But the same thing 30 years back was contextualized different. So while we can always say blame AI for this, but it's not an AI blaming it. It is like
No.
you get hooked on to one particular thing, and there's nothing to do with AI. A child may become hooked on to playing, it may become hooked on to
Mm.
games, may other activities. While AI is becoming a punching ball for everything else, but the
No,
fact
sir,
is,
I
yes.
would like to, yes, I would, sorry to interrupt, I would just like to add, I probably think somewhere we humans take a lot of time to accept things. Don't you think so? We take a longer time to accept. Like you mentioned about comic earlier, it was like a big no, and now we are like so happy. Okay, thank God, my son or daughter is along with the books rather than the gadgets. So we took a long time to accept things. I probably
We
feel
take a lot of
so.
time to balance it, not
Yeah,
accept it. Balance
yeah,
it, because
yeah.
balancing is very important in the life, ma'am.
सर
And
एक्सेप्टेंस के बाद ही तो बैलेंस आएगा ना फर्स्ट यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट इट तब जाके वी आर गोइंग टू बैलेंस इट आल्सो
that is very true.
Yeah.
That is very
And
true.
human being have great adaptability. We
यस
will, whatever the technology comes in, initially it is challenging. I remember initial days when mobile was with SMS and text has started. They say don't, there was instructions given by many great learners that don't do more than 1 hour, not do this. And now I think
यस
in
द
last 5 years,
रेडिएशंस द रेडिएशंस
radiation will be there, that will be there, then everything. Now today we are using, maybe the device is always on. I remember when internet initially started, started, we used to have a dial up. We'll switch on and switch off. And we say, if you keep it more than 1 hour, I remember as an IT officer, I used to say that if you switch it on for more than 1 hour, they are vulnerable. But today my device, all devices are all the time connected. So this is a progression. We will adapt to all this thing. Maybe an interesting thing, I'll just come on to this topic here. So I'll give a very unique problem, which is a classical problem, which in AI. So I have a driverless car. No, I'm developing, let's say I have developed a driverless car. And I am running on a highway, and highway is taking two folks. So I'm getting a Y junction. On one side, there is a young boy crossing the road. There is another side, an old man, 70, 80 years old woman is crossing. Now I know the car is going to hit somebody, either here or there. Now, when you, as a human being, you take some instantaneous decision, you'll swear either this side or that side, and you are responsible. If I have an AI built car, no autonomous car, driverless car, so what do? There is already somebody who has decided that if this situation comes, I am going to be hitting A or B. So what is the ethical aspect of it? How do you think? So maybe you can think of it. If I were to ask you, if you are a designer or if you are somebody coding it, what will you do?
Sir,
young boy or if you hit an old man?
No, I wouldn't hit either of them. If I have the power of AI, if I have coded it that well, I probably will, switch my car like how we see in the movies, when they're just going on two wheels, so that nobody should get hurt and the car should also not be damaged. If we see those, Shetty movies or, I don't know what that, action-oriented movies, Golmaal and all, where we see the, flying cars and all. ठीक है, itna AI might not do flying cars as of now. Obviously, must have done also, but at least on two wheels, I presume that could save both of them. You are also happy, and they are also living for long. I just feel that itna the coding we must do if we have done that much of coding.
Okay,
Sir, I would like to know, in your conversation, did you mention that it is a brakeless car? Doesn't it have a brake?
Driverless car.
Driverless car. So in case there is any obstacle coming in the way, will it not sense and stop wherever it is? Why do we need to kill either of them?
No. So there are, see, when you as a human, you judge things. So suppose I am driving at 150 miles per hour on a highway. Now, if I am on highway, suddenly an obstacle comes in reality, from 150 to 0, it will at least travel, let's say 20. So this is a classical example of how we define to say the ethicality of an AI system, a driverless car. So as a human, you will take a decision, everybody will take a different decision. But in this case, when you are using a driverless car, all the lakhs of car will have same logic built in. So either, and as a programmer, Veena ma'am said, I will not do it, but those are movie situation. In real situation, you have to say that in case I cannot stop, I can only turn the steering this side or that side. There's no other choice. So you have to premeditate and code it that when I have this situation, I'm going to do. Yes, we may have a situation when it is possible. Can I brake? Can I do that? A lot of other things are there. And this we face every day. At times, if I'm driving, sometimes you jump the red light because you feel that somebody is behind you and he's not going to stop. No, so those are realistic humanistic skills. But in this case, you have to decide in advance when you are manufacturing the car logic. Somebody coder is doing it, that if this is the situation, I cannot stop. I turn left or I turn right. So where would you do it? I mean, if you are the programmer, that's not the question.
Yes, I got your question, because it was a similar project which I was working with my students last year. There was an electric vehicle and obstacle detection or driverless car. This was one of the projects which I was actually working. And this, actually, I was about to answer, but you answered it. Thank you very much for that. And we also have Ishtaq Ahmed sir. He is also waiting for long. So Ishtaq sir, would you like to add something to this? We are waiting to hear you.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I joined a bit late, but I could hear Ushavati ma'am speaking something about that. Am I audible, first of all?
Yes.
Yeah. Ushavati ma'am, she was telling something about in the beginning, when the mobile was to come to the school, we used to confiscate, and now the school has gone to the mobile. So, and in this case, I personally feel that India is more about the rituals, customs, and religions and festivals and all. इसमें होता ऐसा है कि my question to Ushavati ma'am exactly कि how to bring about that particular part again. Yes, machines are there, but what about the values and the manners which are to be brought into the system, into the student's mind nowadays, which is becoming little tedious to bring about?
Sir, school definitely plays a very, very important role. Definitely. And as Rajput sir also mentioned, the first education starts in the home. Whatever the child sees back home, same thing it is taking forward in his life. Earlier, sir, in the earlier scenario, we used to have joint family system. I still remember as a kid going to my native, maternal native back in Mangalore, wherein the entire family used to come together. We never had this nuclear family system. And whatever it is, be it Diwali, be it Christmas holidays, be it May vacation, the entire family used to come together, and it used to be a celebration kind of thing. The now probably, because of the nuclear family concept, everybody is wanting to have their own room, everybody is wanting to have their own privacy. I remember in that house, so many people in the living room, the blankets used to be put, and anybody's child, with aunt, uncle, everyone, it used to be like a cozy family setup at that point of time. That is when values were built. Now slowly, because of the nuclear system, parents are working, inflation is going so high. If both the parents are not working, then probably the kind of lifestyle they would want to maintain, that is not happening. So somewhere I feel school has to take the onus, and as educators we need to instill that kind of feeling into the children. And NEP also talks upon that. More than the curriculum, more than the syllabus, I think the concepts that the children learn, the values that the children learn, and that can be done only in the base level. Once the child is in the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th standard, it becomes very difficult to mold the child. So this has to come where from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th onwards. So there you need to have celebrations in the school. You need to have sessions wherein you are having parents in the school, you are having grandparents in the school. You need to involve the parental community, the extended parental community into the school scenario, into the curriculum, I'll say. So it can be very simple as a music day. You can celebrate World Music Day in the school. You can invite the extended family to the school and have a celebration there. It could be a day of coloring with the father. So Father's Day, you can call the fathers to the school, and a very simple exercise I was mentioning to my teachers as well. Calling the pre-primary fathers to the school, and then coloring session with the parents. Children don't have that kind of time with the parents as well these days, because you will see there are graveyard shifts also. The parents are working night shift also. There are we are working for global counterparts. So probably now when we are sitting here during the night, somewhere else there is day and people are working for their schedule. So somewhere I think as a school we need to take the onus to build and instill that kind of values which are required in the early days of the child. So there definitely we'll be requiring the AI technology, yes, because we need to connect to people at the same time. So this is what is AI. That is the reason I am talking to you as of now. I am sitting somewhere in Thane back home. You are sitting somewhere back home, and Rajput sir is sitting somewhere.
Yes.
We all are in our comfort zones, and we are discussing, we are talking to each other. But when we talk about celebrations and all, online celebration, no, it is not going to give that kind of joy as it comes to a family coming together. And school really has a very important role to play. So that is the reason, you should have celebrations in the school, you should have activities in the school, you should involve the parent community and make sure that the cultural thing that is happening, every event, I do that in my school. Every event, be it a prize distribution event, be it a sports day, be it a annual day, there is half an hour of cultural event which happens, which brings us together. There is diversity in our country. So many different states in the country, each has its own importance. So you can bring that into music, you can bring that into food, you can bring that into dance, you can do a lot of things when you build such kind of scenario in the school. So culture development, value education has to happen in the school itself, sir. As an educator, I strongly recommend that. Ishtiaq, sir.
Yes, I do agree with you, ma'am. But there are two types of community members or the parents coming. One says कि भाई मैंने अपने बच्चे को आपके स्कूल में दे दिया, आपको जो करना है करो. The second part, if we try to teach something, the kind of values or the manners. Now, this question to you as well as the other panel members also. a kind of a mixed communication is happening here. Okay, sometimes the parents they say कि हमने अपने बच्चे को आपके पास में दे दिया, now you do whatever you want to do, मारना तोड़ना सिखाना जो भी है आपको कर दो. The second community comes in the form of ये क्या सिखा रहे हो आप हमारे बच्चे को? Is this the way you are supposed to teach all these things? Right? It happened in my school, one of this part called as in the social science area. The teacher was teaching something about the history. In that, some medieval period ka point was there. So he wanted to go a little into the depth of that particular events and explain the children. Immediately, the second day, the parent came and asking, what is this you are teaching, which is not there in the textbook? What is the use of bringing this to the notice of the children? Why are you doing all this thing? So mixed communication, mixed part of a parent community is happening. So how to deal with these kind of things along with the AI, which is coming to be?
Sir, I feel involving the parents into the school scenario is very important. So you should have a strong PTA. You should make sure that whatever we are communicating, and also communication plays a very key role, sir. What
True.
the teacher has taught in the class and how the child has conveyed it back home. What the child has perceived. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own perception. Probably what you are saying, I am perceiving it in a certain manner. Probably some other speaker is perceiving it in a different manner. Every child
True.
has, the growing child has a different level of intelligence. What the child has understood, how much the child has understood, what the child has conveyed, what has the parent understood. There is a huge gap there. So
Huge gap,
yes,
right?
huge gap there. And I completely agree with the teacher going back into history and trying to give extra information. That is a need of the hour, because
True.
these days, if you click the Google, you get information. But how much of that information do you need? Knowledge is more
Yes.
important than the information. We are loaded with information. Do we really need that kind of information? So if the teacher is imparting
Question
some
mark.
knowledge in the classroom, definitely the teacher has researched. Definitely, if the teacher is going out of his or her way to give extra information, that means the teacher has really put in a lot of efforts. Teacher has put in a lot of work into the existing syllabus and is trying to impart something different, something nice, something more informative, which is not there in the curriculum. So, how the child has perceived it, that has to be first taken
That
into
has to
notice.
be
Second thing,
true.
artificial intelligence. We are using intelligence, right? Whatever the teacher wants to convey, put it into a PPT, share it with the parents. ERP is in the place. We are having content sharing platform.
True.
Whatever the teacher has to convey, he or she can put it into the PPT mode, show it to the children, explain it to the students, and the same content can go back to the parent. So probably the
Parent.
way the child has passed on the information to the parent and the way the parent has perceived the information, there could be a gap in communication as well. So I don't think, if the teacher has gone ahead and given some extra information to the child, the parent has to question, why are you teaching something out of the syllabus, or why is
Yeah.
this being taught in the school? So there we are bridging the gap. Whatever I'm teaching, I'm sending the content to you. If you do have a doubt, please come back to me. This is my email ID. You can get back to me. I will clear your query. So probably that is my take on it, sir. Ishtiaq.
That's it.
So
ma'am.
I will
Keeping us
contextualize it
yes.
from a point of AI. So while Urashi madam has mentioned about how it is to be done, but I think Dr. Sheikh has mentioned this is a problem. You can do it with one teacher, you can do it 50 teacher, you can do it 100 teacher. How do you do it crores of teachers? So that is where AI modeling comes into picture. So AI's model actually have something called a training model. So how do you want to present a lesson plan? Every teacher has their own perception, and there is no way you can standardize it across because we are humans. Now, when you have an AI assisted teaching, as we call it, so you have a training model, and the training model is contextualized. As much as you go ahead, you train that model, it becomes more and more mature. And the
True.
second aspect which we know is when a teacher is explaining to a student, again, the student will have this different spectrum of understanding and learning. So as parent somebody may say that my child is more sensitive, why did you tell this to my student? Whereas in the same class, there may be students who want to learn more, who want to go into
Yeah.
depth. So that is where this AI trained model come into picture, that you contextualize this of learning of the student, the maturity of a student, which is available to you. Of course, you need the whole system to be built. But once that is available, based on the understanding of system, based on the maturity of a teacher, and based on the learning curve of the student, you contextualize the teaching. So when we are looking on edtech models, when we say edtech model, if you convert something in PPT and share, that's not an edtech. The concept is that each teacher, each student should be able to interpret in the way where they understand it. So that is where the power of AI comes. The same content which is there for every student can be presented in a different way. So I feel there's the power of AI lies, that it can contextualize for the training of teacher, for the teaching by the teacher, and for the pedagogical understanding for the students, and learning pedagogy. I mean, all those things can be what, like, in fact, that is where the power of AI lies. So that's my
Yes, it was very good, sir. Actually, I was waiting for that for a long time, like how AI will be like changing the education scenario. And Dr. Bedkar sir is also there for a long time. So Dr. Bedkar sir, please, can you just
Thank
add
you,
something behind?
Anjum. Thank you, Anjum Kurishi madam. I am not part of this marathon today, but I am just a listener as daily. Very best experts are giving explanation on the artificial intelligence. Really, I am happy to read so many aspects of the artificial intelligence, right from definition, use, and all these things. So it's just a thinking of a mind, as in our history or Mahabharata. Someone was thinking that if something happen, that will be better. Like this, our human brain is thinking more and more, and it is using more and more technology. That is the part of the artificial intelligence, and so that this technology is everywhere. It will be used and supplemented in teaching learning. It was the best example of that excellent example given by Joshi sir. Now it is the example of the teachers cannot understand what is good, what is wrong. A teacher can understand, but artificial intelligence, we have to do coding, all these things. In future, this is the best and effective tool in every sector, that it will do something for human being for their best life. Maybe their misuse or use, as Professor said that, Rajput sir detailed explained the misuse, use, all these things. But this technology is no alternative. It will be used in everywhere, that will be coded in as per our application and need of this society. Thank you, madam. Please continue.
Yes, sir, very well said. That we should, we should be using the technology in a right way. That is more important at this point. But throughout the discussion, when I was like observing everything, so then we reached the point when we started talking about family values, about mental health. So, artificial intelligence, Nicole, I hope, actually, this is a question for everyone, a small question for everyone, that artificial intelligence, it is the programming which is done by humans. And when we do the programming or when we do the coding, we do what is actually going on in our mind. So when we are working with artificial intelligence, there are chances that if artificial intelligence is in wrong hands, and wrong hands means a person who thinks in a destructive way. So don't you think if artificial intelligence goes into that such hands, it can be destructive? The other question is, what will be the role of emotional intelligence and mental health so that artificial intelligence doesn't go to a destructive path? Anyone can answer, please. I think Lakshmi sir can better answer this.
Yes, so I think when we say this for AI, it is actually, I look at it, it's everywhere. Let's say there's a train being driven by a train driver. Now, if you look at, it's somebody has got a destructive mind and somebody is this thing, or somebody is pointing a gun and maybe go and crash the train or do whatever, all those things are possible. So yes, like everything else, if you have bad intention, if you're in position of power to use that, it is do it. But when we look at the real AI application, which is built by a responsible organization, there are safeties and checks made. In fact, some of the I don't know, some of you are aware that many edtech software, many things already had built-in filters. Like say while teaching in a class, you are using some explicit word and all those things. They automatically try to do that control. So when you look at AI, you look at in terms of moderating certain extremities. So let's say if I have a train which is run by a driver and there is a possibility, all sort of possibilities are there, there is somebody as an AI system monitoring you. So there's an automatic chauffeur or automatic monitoring which is doing it. And sometimes, like, so one of the application which I have worked in is a driver monitoring system. So when you have a truck drivers driving, especially in US and all, long distance they drive, so suddenly they'll feel sleepy. And the moment they feel sleepy, they may create an accident. So there is some application called driver monitoring system. So this is a built-in AI. It will keep watching your eyes and all this thing. And the moment they feel that, yes, you are drowsy, there are symptoms which they look at it. So immediately it will trigger. So it will give you a warning and blare some horn, and then the driver becomes awake. It sends warning to the company that this driver is not doing properly. Their insurance penalties are there for that. Similarly, if you drive a car and if you sit in the car and if you are you have consumed alcohol, so the car will not start. There are sensors which will sense it. So this is where I think AI, responsible AI, as I said, ethical AI, is going to ensure that whatever weaknesses in the system, whatever issues we face today, that will get resolved. But definitely, if somebody is making, as we see within any other device or any other weapon or any other equipment, if somebody is deliberately making it for destruction, then definitely we really cannot do much about it. No?
I would like to add to that here. When we are talking about AI, we invented fire as well, right? We invented fire as well. Fire, if you can use it in a destructive manner, a lot of things can go wrong. But sensibly, if you use it, that is the best invention that man has come forward with. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, as I earlier mentioned, repetitive work has gone down. And people have actually used it for the benefit. If you see JP Morgan, they are using it to manually scan all the legal documents. If you talk about IBM, probably they are using it into healthcare, IBM Watson. If you talk about which is that eye detector, Google eye detector, probably they are into retina scan and all. Twitter, for that matter, they can very quickly identify all the hate speeches and filter the content. So yes, as sir rightly mentioned, if there is a destructive mind, anything can happen wrong. But if it is sensibly used, I think artificial intelligence is the best thing that man has made. So I think sir has really beautifully explained it. And if a lot of manual work can be cut down and cancer can be detected early, or probably businesses can go by leaps and bounds. Google Map can take us to places. If, as I rightly said, the various applications that the companies have come up with, be it JP Morgan or IBM or Google or Facebook, it's really a very beautiful invention. But when you mentioned about the ill effects of it, yes, there are a lot of fire also had a lot of ill effects, right? But we are using it sensibly.
We have to use it sensibly. And like being an educator, I think we have a very important role to play, like you were talking about, like using values in the students. Simple, it is very necessary, because if we don't concentrate on that, okay, we can be using AI for the learning process, but with that, somewhere our ethics, our moral values, we have to train the students for that also. Because if it is there, this destructive mind which I was talking about, its chances will be very less. So if destructive minds are less, obviously there won't be any destructive programming. Okay, so it was a very good session. So before leaving, I just want every one of you to give a message and say and speak up. What do you think? Is artificial intelligence dangerous for us as per our topic, or how would you like to conclude? So, Ushawati ma'am, let's start from you. What do you think about it? One last statement, one last message for everyone of us.
Artificial intelligence, the best invention. Machine behaving like a human being, robot, wonderful invention. Lot of changes in the healthcare sector, lot of changes in the education sector, lot of changes in the social scenario. People have really, globe has really shrunken. Pandemic taught us that, we earlier, before pandemic, as I used to always say, that Skype was there. How much did we use that? But pandemic forced us, even the people who have been in the education sector for 30 years, 35 years, who were so used to the chalk and talk method, they also are now very comfortable using Google Meet. They are very comfortable using Zoom. They are very comfortable making the PPT. And when we talk earlier, people used to say, the child, for example, we say emptying the nest, child flying out of the home for further education. People used to not take it in a very positive manner. Now you dial on WhatsApp, it's a free call, you get connected to the loved one who is on the other side, maybe 7 seas apart. So artificial intelligence, I would say, is the best thing that has happened to us. Only thing is we need to use it more sensibly, so that we are not falling prey to machine. We are, after all, human beings. We are human beings. We have a brain, we have intelligence. We need to use it wisely. Machines don't have brain. Whatever you feed in, whatever you code in, that is the way it will function. So at the same time, artificial intelligence along with human intelligence, if it is used, nothing like it. And as an educator, I would say the prime responsibility of inculcating values and value-based education to a child in the early years is completely school's responsibility, as much as it is from the family background as well. So that's it from my side, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, over to you, Veena, ma'am, please.
Yeah, sure. Obviously.
How would you like to conclude?
Sure. So artificial intelligence absolutely is an essential element of our life. Even if we do not want it, we would have to have it to have a balanced life, to basically have our life, become easy. But at the same time, I think we will take a little more time to actually accept it wholeheartedly. Although we have to, there wouldn't be any option, because we need to make our lives easy, right? And humans are lazy animals, so they have to have it. So what I basically feel is ati sab cheez ki buri hoti. So we do not have to rely on it 100%, because the excess of anything is not good. So we need to balance our values, our emotions, our emotional intelligence, and at the same time artificial intelligence. If we are able to balance both of them as to when and what is required, because we are humans, we are very intelligent, right? When we can design a bot, we can also design our life, right? So jahan par we need artificial intelligence, we need to take it. Jahan par we need some emotional intelligence, we need to have it. So the moment we create a balance, we are going to have a balanced and a safe journey, of our life around across the globe. Yeah, that's from me.
Thank you, sir. So Lakshman, sir.
Yes. So I think we all agree that there are enormous benefit of AI in terms of whatever we are doing. It's going to touch our life. There's no two ways about it. Is AI dangerous? I feel, and based on whatever I have understanding, purely from the point of view how we look at it, AI being dangerous in terms of it is going to be hacked by somebody, or somebody is going to take over the planet and rule over human beings. That is not possibility, at least what we understand today. So that's not the possibility. But what is clear and present danger, which we have already seen, I had quoted a couple of examples, that there is a possibility of social and ethical issues in AI application, which will have far complex, far-reaching consequences, which will be very difficult for us to do it. Just to give you an example, today all over the world, we don't even have plugs of the same type, because it was evolved over a period. Now we are living with it. Now, same situation will have an AI when somebody is developing, let's say, if you want to develop a program of empathy and whatever is there. Now, what is culture in Asian countries, East Asian countries, West is very different. Suppose I want to shake hands. It is somewhere it is acceptable, somewhere it is not acceptable. The moment you bring it in AI, it will not be adaptable for all the societies, all the things. So what we should do is, I feel, very simple thing. Somewhere we should say no. So civil society, technology should say no. Do I want to codify ethics? No, we cannot do it. And the second aspect is, wherever technologies, MNCs, companies are building AI, they should involve civil society as a part of what we call as explainable AI, so that what are the values, what are the logics, what are we building there, so that it is acceptable as per the defined principle which European Commission has defined. There are 7 principles we should go by. So if we do that, I think we are going to be having a wonderful time with this some new gadget or new device, whatever we call it, and we'll be enjoying our journey of AI journey for a long time.
Thank you very much. So Ishtiyaq, sir, your message, and how would you like to conclude?
Yeah, I just would like to sum up with one simple sentence. AI is really very good boon for everybody, but how do we take it? That is more important. How do we implement it? How do we understand it? How do we put it in front of the students, and how the students take it? and they implement in their own life. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Rajput, sir.
Yeah, so I think I heard everybody, and everybody, I can conclude in this way that AI is a boon, it's not a means, right? And how we accept it, how we utilize it depends upon us. It is like always we say, when we come to the home, we keep the brain at the workplace and we bring the heart at our home. Right, it is very important. If you bring the brain at the home and keep the heart at the workplace, I think that this balance will be there, and nobody can replace the emotional feelings which has to be there, which start from the family. And of course, here I like to add one thing, that though the parents, they keep on putting the thing to the teachers, that it is their responsibility, but I again say it's the responsibility of the parents.
First of
Right,
all.
first they are the first people, they are the first teacher, right? And you cannot just bar your responsibility to the teacher, that you are being taken care and you are supposed to build the things. The third thing I like to add, when we talk about the emotional intelligence, right? So of course AI is one of them, very important, because I am in this industry, which I always keep on talking, because it reduces the time, it gives me the accuracy, it gives me on dot results, which is basically required, and that's what we wanted, and that's what the world is booming ahead. And as per the Prime Minister, which we say that by 2047 we will be the world's #1 country in the entire world. That's what we are working on, that, right? And of course the technology is going to help us, but at the same time, now I like to add here, because emotional intelligence, which is very, very important part, which, because I will not take the name of the educator here or the school here, when I spoke to them and I was being invited, right, because they have the high school, they have intermediate, they have the college also, I simply asked one thing, that during the parent teacher meeting, what you talk today to the parent, do you talk the numbers, or do you talk that how you are inculcating the values to your children? Right. So believe you me, the answer was, it was the numbers which we talk about it. But during the parents teacher meeting, with this change, if you start talking about inculcating the value system and appreciating the child, where the child is doing good, I think we'll be able to make the things more better. And that's what the NLP is talking about it, which we have learned from all the educators. And that's what it is happening in the international markets, where they encourage the child where the child affinity is. And that's what the binding is there. And still, which we say, our India is the best in terms of the value system, our culture, our mythology. Either we are in the any of the religion, it always teaches us to have a love, respect, compassion, humanity, humility. But at the same time, the world is changing, so we have to accept the AI part, which is the requirement. AI, AR, VR, XR, this is going to be a real requirement, and it has to be accepted. And there is a lot to be done, because we always say knowing is a little and unknown is the ocean. And we have we have to explore the ocean which is there in front of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Actually, yes, at the end of the session, what we can say, as we started with, is AI dangerous. So certainly we can say AI is something which is helping us a lot. It has made our life easier. But what we think about the dangerous part, it is again in our hands. How we use it, if we are using it sensibly, if we are using it with balance, if we are like from the very younger age, we are training the students along with the education, we are paying equal attention towards the values, towards the ethics, then I think AI can't be dangerous for us. AI will be always a boon for us. And for any technology, there are some kind of drawbacks, some pros and cons everywhere, but it is up to us, because again it is something which has been designed by us. So it is up to we human beings how we use it. So here we come to a conclusion that it is not dangerous, but it always depends upon how we human beings are going to use it. And with this note, I thank all the speakers, Dr. P.K. Rajput sir, Lakshman Joshi sir, Dr. Dekar sir, Ishtiyaq Ahmed sir, Ushavati Shetty ma'am, and Veena ma'am. I hope I haven't missed any of the names. Thank you everyone. And also thank you to the team of Idym for giving all of us a platform for expressing our youth, being Ravi Shankar sir, Zinat ma'am, Dinal ma'am, and all the team of creative team of Idym. We can say thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
And we all thank you, ma'am. Anjum ma'am.
Thank you so very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Good-
hosting.
good
Wonderful
Shukriya.
hosting. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
You
you.
have started the day very nicely, Anjum ma'am. I think you are going to take it ahead a beautiful way. That's great.
Inshallah. ऐसे ही होगा.
Inshallah.
हाँ, inshallah.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night.
Right, thank you.
Bye.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.